Welcome to Wigglesticks TV. So I have the carbs off and the airbox and the fuel tank, obviously, because I'm going to change these carb boots here because I have a sneaking suspicion they're either cracked or something, or yeah, that's where the fuel leak was potentially coming from. You can see there's a little bit of stuff coming from the base of this clamp here. This one over here has a bit of moisture and stuff on it. The same with number 2, and number 1 was the same. So I have new carb boots around here somewhere, so I'll just go back and take those off now. They're all the same except for the third one, which has the vacuum hose. That goes to the fuel tank. And I have a new, only one of these I could get. I have brand new, the clamps. The other one, I'll have to figure out which is the best one. Probably this one. And I'll give that a bit of a clean up as well. Shouldn't be a terribly difficult job, but we'll get to it now. So yeah, like I was saying, there looks like there's a bit of a leak or something from one of the gaskets or something. Not entirely sure, but it is. You can see the grease and stuff under these ones, where it doesn't look like there's any grease under this particular one. So yeah, I'll just do a little bit more investigating and see what else I can see. Boots here. There's one other one I'll show you in a sec. The part number for the 3 that are the same is 13101, and the one for the third with the vacuum hose is 13103. There's a slight difference on the actual carb boot itself. The ones on the engine have a little, it's hard to see, have a little thing coming off the end here. I think that's probably because this was shared with the 600 one, because I saw some 600 carbs the other day and they had solenoids or something plugged into here. So I'm pretty sure this is the right one. It has all the O-rings and everything already in it, which is pretty handy. And the rubber on the new one feels like really nice new rubber, where the rubber on the old ones is very, very hard. So yeah, I think it's worthwhile, probably unnecessary, but worthwhile changing these. So I've cleaned around the top, all the rubbish out from the top of these, between the carb boots and the rocker cover. So I'm just going to take this one off now. I've got some red rubber grease to put around there, and yeah, the O-ring and stuff is already in there. So I'll just take this off and then switch this one over. And I'm just matching it up the same way that it goes in terms of the writing. How the writing is around here will match how it is on this one. It's first cylinder one off. Let's see what it looks like underneath. Pretty hard, as we said before. So yeah, I'll probably keep these just in case. However, I think we should be fine. Annoyingly, the video camera had a bit of a meltdown while I was about to put that in, so I've already got the first one in. I've got rubber grease on the bottom of it, and then I've got it all torqued down. It's very light torque setting of 3 Newton meters. It's on page 31, section 831 of the service manual. So I'll just go ahead now and redo the other ones, take the other ones off and then put them back on. You can see the bottom of the one I just took off. Looks like it has, you can kind of see on there, fuel underneath the O-ring. So I think it's probably a good idea to change these. Pretty happy with tonight's effort. I have the carbs off, the carb boots in. They're all seated properly. Had one little issue with the last one. The second last bolt I tried to take off was pretty tight to get out, and it sort of destroyed the head of it a little bit, but it came out, so I'll replace that bolt. Got the new clamps and everything on, and now the next little task I will do is to replace all the radiator hoses. I think I have the one that goes in down at the water pump cover from inside the engine here. I think has a crack or something in it, or a leak. So I've got some Samco hoses that arrived yesterday. So I'll probably get onto doing that tomorrow. And then I need to take the carbs back down to my carb friend to figure out why there's fuel coming from the underneath of them. I think it's probably the gaskets or something like that. So I'll put a picture of what they look like up in a second. But yeah, I'm not really sure exactly what the issue is with those. Probably gaskets or something like that. So I'll get cracking on those, and then hopefully this can start before Easter with any luck. So we're a couple of weeks out from Easter now. Yeah, so thanks. I'll be back tomorrow and put some hoses on. Well, back out on the GSX-R again tonight. I've just been trying to flush some fluid through the system to get as much sediment out as I can, and I was gonna take the water, like a bunch more stuff off, and run more pressure through, but that little bit of sediment there just came out in the first little spot. So I think I'll just change the hoses and button it all back up and see if we have a leak or not. I think the leak is coming from this hose in here. So I'll take the cover off, change the hoses over, because I've still got the carbs off the top. Yeah, I've ordered the gaskets and some new screws for the carbs, so they should be here in the next couple of days. So yeah, I'm going to clean up the surface of this water pump cover a bit before I put everything back together, and I'll check the radiator's been done. This one's been done, so I'll just check. I'll check this cover as well and see what that looks like underneath the hose, and the same for over here. So I've got some new hoses have come, some Samco silicone hoses, complete set for the good old S-Rad. So I've also got clamps, so yeah, this should be all ready to go on. So I think it may be the corrosion around the end of these this water pump cover, so I'm going to hit it with the Dremel and get all that corrosion off, and then put it back on with new hoses and see how we go. So I've got all these cleaned up now. It looks remarkably better than it did before, so fingers crossed that will solve the water problems. See how we go. Extra step I've taken now is to clean the surface of the where the water pump cover mounts on. So it did have a lot of corrosion and stuff on there, but I thought it was inside where the gasket seals, but now it's much smoother on there. There's still a little bit of, not really pitting, but a few marks and stuff on the cover as you'd sort of expect, but at least the layer of corrosion is off there now. So I've got a new gasket, a new O-ring, so I'll just clean this a little bit more and then redo the O-ring process again, and with any luck this will be something else that won't leak. Okay, so I've got the water pump cover all cleaned up. I actually really paid more careful attention to where the O-ring sits inside here. I really cleaned that out with the scraper as well. And then I put quite a lot of waterproof grease inside it, and then seated the O-ring in the grease, so the O-ring was already coated with grease, and then put more grease and stuff over the top of it. So I'm really hopeful that this thing seals now, so I'll put it back in and connect it up, and fingers crossed. Okay, so we have all the new Samco hoses and everything run, all torqued to correct spec. Completely cleaned all the corrosion off everything. Everything's mounted in there, so I'm just going to fill the radiator up with some distilled water and see if anything leaks.